Hello and welcome. Happy Tuesday. You are live with Sandra at It's All About Choices, where you make the decision to take action regarding your weight and health goals, and I guide you through making the best choices for you. And today and every Tuesday, I have the pleasure of dishing out your daily dose of your nutrition wellness news for the mind, the body, and your soul. And I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. And those who tune in live with me, I always thank you for pausing and taking time out of your busy schedule. Hopefully, you are having some lunch to listen in on some news that will definitely help to move you forward. And for those listening to the replay, I thank you for taking time to pause out of your busy schedule to take in some of this wellness news for your mind, body, and soul as well. And for those who are listening to the replay, definitely please chime in, still engage, still enter in your comments. I want you to feel a part of this process just as much as those that are live. I will look at your comments and I will respond. And so give me a few moments. As I see people are tuning in, I'm going to get my window set up so that I love engagement. So as you all are asking me questions and making comments, I love to respond to you, and hopefully I can refer to you by name. So I love for you all to engage. So while I am doing this, definitely say hello, send me a shout out, let me know where you're tuning in from, and I have my window set up and we are going to get going. So thank you for tuning in. And so we are continuing on our August theme, which is back to school, getting back on a routine or getting back on a structure. So whether you have kids or not, we all tend to kind of fall off of a routine come June, July, and August. And so in August is that time to really get back on that routine. And today, we're talking specifically about the number one mistake that wrecks weight loss efforts and what are the solutions. All right. So I would like for you to picture this scenario. All right. Very common scenario, especially if you're trying to lose weight with your friends. So you have two people who are attempting to lose weight. One is losing at a healthy rate each week, but one is not. And the troubling part is that when you talk to both of them, you will see that they share a very common approach, meaning that their meals are focused on a moderate balance of carbs, lean protein, and vegetables. They exercise at least 3 times a week, and they're focusing on both cardio and weights. And then they know which foods are truly healthy and which ones they need to limit. And so that's what they're doing. But yet, one friend continues to struggle, okay, and they cannot maintain their focus. And so they have trouble controlling their hunger. They're always craving sweets, and despite their biggest efforts at the gym, they don't seem to achieve the same results as someone else who's following the same workout program. So does this sound familiar? Okay. Which person are you? All right. Are you someone, and just simply post if you're someone who loses fast, put on their loses fast. Or if you're somebody who loses weight slow, then say loses slow, because this is a very common scenario, especially when there's some healthy competition going on with trying to lose weight. And so today I'm going to reveal the number one mistake that wrecks your weight loss effort, and it is not what you think. Okay. And so for those who I see people still chiming in, so respond to that quick little question and I will introduce myself. My name is Sandra Goltry, and I am a registered dietitian, licensed nutritionist, and I'm also a certified personal trainer. And I pull from a variety of leading edge weight loss and lifestyle strategies because I want to help adults integrate healthier eating habits into their daily routine, their daily lifestyle. And at the end of the day, the goal is to build lifestyle habits that last for a lifetime, not just a band-aid, not just a quick fix, not just a way to get the pounds off fast. All right. And so my mission is to show people, how to get food to work for them. Okay. Instead of thinking of food as the enemy. All right. And so I would like for you to chime in. I'm going to look and see if I see any comments, but say hello to me. And also let me know if you lose weight fast or if you lose weight slow. So I would love to know that. And so this month's theme, back to school, getting back to a routine or some type of a structure, is really about getting back on track. Okay, we kind of fall off in June or July, like hard, right? And so it's about getting back on track after the summertime madness. So many of us, if you have kids, you got camps, kids or not, we got vacations, you got theme parks, you got eating more in general, eating out more. So these are the things that are usually different in the summertime. And then when August rolls around, most of us are seeking that routine. It's like we got to reel it back in, because even though whether you have kids or not, we still kind of find ourselves reeling it back in come August. Okay. And so Topic number one, mistake that wrecks weight loss efforts and those solutions. So I have a poll. You guys know I always start these lives with a poll. Hey, Tanika. Hey, hey, hey. Since I know Tanika, she does not have this particular mistake going on. So that's all I'm going to say. So she probably knows what it is. She does not have any problems in this department. And so my poll question, what do you think is the number one mistake that wrecks the weight loss efforts? Is it overeating? Number one. Number two, lack of exercise. Or number three, lack of water. Which one of these three do you think may be a mistake or a very common mistake made when trying to lose weight? All right. And so put in your answers. We're going to pretend like we have a drum roll. And so I am about to reveal the number one mistake. And most of you will feel surprised, but I'm interested in seeing what some of you will say. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. I see some stuff here. Overeating. I see overeating from Krista. Thank you for sharing that. And so I will keep looking. I'll keep looking because it is a little delay in the response. So it's actually not on the list. So even with the best eating patterns, fitness routine, if your sleep is off, your weight loss efforts are severely hindered. So I will talk about that again. If your sleep is off, your weight loss efforts are severely hindered. All right. And so let's talk about this a little. Let's go a little bit deeper into this. So sleep controls your diet. So according to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 35% of Americans are sleep deprived. Okay, and many of us don't even know it. So it's probably more than that, really, because we learn to push through things. So we can be sleep deprived, but we don't really admit it. And so when you consider that statistic for obesity is nearly identical, or probably really more, it's easy to connect the dots to discover that the connection is not a coincidence, okay? And so we all have heard that in order to lose weight, we should eat less, move more, but it's not that simple. It's not quite that simple. So sometimes you want to eat less, move more, but sometimes it's impossible to do that, okay? Think lack of energy. You want to work out, but you just don't have the energy to work out. All right. And so respond yes or no. I see some comments here. Sleep. Yes. Tanika knew. She put it in all caps. She gets like 9 hours. So I'm jealous. So respond yes or no. And if this sounds familiar to you, okay. So between living your life, work, family, kids, exercising, sleep kind of finds itself falling through the cracks. So think about that. So if you got stuff going on with work and life and family and kids and who knows, whatever else that you are involved in, do you find sleep falling through the cracks? Okay. Yes or no, if you do. All right. And this is very, very common. Let's see here. I see some responses. Yes, yes. And it's very common. I mean, we think, oh, I need to finish this up. Or here's another one I just thought about. You don't like to leave things undone. So you can't go to sleep until everything is done. I think that's probably a big corporate, especially for women. We want to make sure everything is done before we go to sleep. So what are the effects of lack of sleep? All right. So I'm going to mention two of the effects today. And number one is it changes our fat cells. Okay. So if you ever wondered why you wake up exhausted or dazed or confused or maybe even a little grumpy. Okay. So typically within just maybe 3 or 4 days of sleep deprivation, your body's ability to properly use insulin becomes completely disrupted. Okay. And so when insulin is not functioning properly, the excess insulin ends up storing fat in all the wrong places. One place is the liver. And then, and this also can lead to the onset of diabetes. So that's kind of at a very, very high level on how it can affect our fat cells. And then the lack of sleep makes you crave food more. So that's another thing. So many believe that hunger is related to willpower and learning to control the call of your stomach. But this is far from true. It's not true. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. So hunger is controlled by 2 hormones, leptin and ghrelin. And ghrelin, I like to call the greedy hormone, okay? So if we're deprived, if we are extreme dieting, the ghrelin levels go up. And then that's when we want to eat everything under the sun. So you'll go a short period of time being strong and restricting, but it will backfire, okay? And so here's a little bit of science behind that. So leptin is a hormone that is produced in our fat cells. And so the less leptin you produce, the more your stomach feels empty. The more ghrelin, which I said the greedy hormone, you produce, and then the more ghrelin you produce in that case. So the more you stimulate hunger while also reducing the amount of calories you burn. So think about your metabolism slowing down. This increases the amount of fat that you store. So you want to have a balance between these hormones, and this is why it's important to not lose weight so quickly. And this is important why you don't want to restrict carbs and you don't want to do extreme restricting, because those hormones will get out of whack when we do that. And so trust that there are many, many other factors that come into this equation. But in a nutshell, adequate sleep will help you control the necessary balance between your ghrelin levels and your leptin levels to aid in successful weight loss. That among with, of course, because again, if you extremely restrict, then that's going to impact those levels. So, and we tend to do that when we are sleep deprived. Okay, so we either going to overeat, some people undereat. So it just kind of depends on the situation. So with that being said, knowing that it's not as easy as willpower, because many of us kind of throw willpower and we feel like we failed. Hopefully this is good news for you. So hopefully you feel less defeated and knowing that it's really more to the equation than just being strong. I mean, yes, we want to have a level of discipline, but still it's a little bit more to it than that. So the takeaway message is that the cravings come from deeper factors than just our willpower and the ability to control your stomach's call for food. And so just as a side note, willpower never works in regards to controlling food intake. It may work for a short period of time where we're strong and we say no to something that we really want, but eventually we lose the battle. Eventually, okay? All right, and so a final point, a final important point that affects our sleep or affects our lack of sleep is sleep sabotages our workouts. And it sabotages our workouts and it sabotages our exercise efforts, okay? And so let me put that up here. And so let me look for any comments. So any comments or questions, definitely feel free to chime in. But it sabotages our exercise. So unfortunately, the disastrous impacts spreads beyond our eating and it spills over into our workouts. So no matter how fit you are and what your fitness goals are, having some muscle on your body is important. So no, we don't have to, strive to become a bodybuilder. Muscle is the enemy of fat. Okay, I think I mentioned that last week, and it helps us to burn fat, helps us to stay young, help us to stay vibrant. But sleep or lack of sleep is the enemy of muscle. Okay, and so research continues to support that sleep deprivation decreases your body's ability to make muscle. Okay, causing muscle loss. It can lead to a higher incidence of injury. So when we are exhausted, I hear too many of my new clients saying, I want to work out, but I wake up and I'm just feeling exhausted. So it's a combination of sleep deprivation and nutrition. So if both of those are going on, you're going to drag and you're not going to have the motivation to want to do it. You may have the desire, but you won't have the motivation. Okay. And so that is very, very important to have all of that in place. So let me ask you this. Let's take a poll. Okay. Now here's the scenario. You're going on day 4 with like 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Okay. The clock has gone off and it's time for you to get up. You have it set early because you like to wake up early, but you're on like day 4 of 3 to 4 hours of sleep. So you are tired, okay? And you're feeling the lack of sleep catching up with you. You can barely get out of bed. What do you do? Like if this happened yesterday, what did you do? Do you push through it and try to get up and work out, or do you sleep in? So be honest. So, and I'm going to share, the best answer in this, but what do we do? I know what people commonly do, but I want to see who's going to share what they do, because we're human. We're going to do what we're going to do. But many of us will try to push through, even though we've gotten 4 hours sleep, because we want to, hey, if we didn't do anything else today, we got our workout in, right? Well, the solution is, I'm going to say just the opposite, okay? Let's see here. I see people trying, okay. Of course, Tanika says sleep. Absolutely. But that is the right answer, though. You want to prioritize sleep, okay? And you want to get to a place where you are waking up and you're feeling rested, okay? And specifically for today's topic, getting back on a routine, getting back on a sleep routine is very, very important. And while there are no hard numbers that apply to all people, but a good rule of thumb is you want to receive between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. Okay. I strive for my clients to get to 7. Okay. 9 is great. I will be honest, I don't get 9 hours of sleep. Okay. But at least 7. Okay. Because we want to make sure one night of poor sleep is not followed by 3 and 4 nights and then weeks of poor sleep, because then that's when things begin to unravel in our lives between eating, our attitude, our concentration. I mean, it just has an impact. And of course, exercise. And if you find yourself cringing because I said 7 and 9 of sleep, if you're responding, how in the world am I going to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night? It means you got way too much going on. You are overwhelmed. You are stretched thin. Our bodies need to rest, especially if you are working out. Part of that recovery process for muscle recovery, muscle growth, muscle repair is to get some sleep, is to rest. So we actually burn calories while we're sleeping. So we want to make sure that we're giving our bodies adequate rest. So that means there's some changes that need to go on with specifically that nighttime routine. And that's something that I do focus on with my one-on-one clients. And I also focus on that in my Body Reboot Blueprint, where we want to make sure that we are getting enough sleep. And what do we need to do? What are the steps we need to do to make that happen? So it is very, very, very important. So just like good nutrition is important, good hydration is important, good sleep is also important. Okay. And so the magic question is how in the world do you get the 7 hours of sleep, every night? Now, we're going to have our moments when we don't get it in. But again, we want that to happen every now and then, to where after like day 2, you are feeling it. You are feeling sluggish. You are not feeling good. Your eyes are hurting. And you don't want to ignore that. That's your body's survival mechanism telling you, I need sleep. And so you don't want to push through that. You don't want to ignore that. Okay. So if you're wondering, how in the world do I achieve this? What are the steps to make this happen? I welcome the opportunity to help you do that. Okay. And I have a series of sleep exercises that I walk through with people to find ways to add more hours to their sleep, add more time. And we do it incrementally. Do I expect for you to go from 4 to 7 and overnight? No, but we have to make those incremental changes in order to make that happen. And so let's definitely talk about that, and let's figure out, what can we do to lessen that to-do list that you have in the middle of in the evening. Okay. And so here is one of the ways that we can do that. And I'm going to put this information in the chat as well, because I know you guys cannot click on the banner, but this here is do a conversation. So it's really, really difficult to do this in a live, to really dig down, because everybody has their different challenges in the evening. And so that's why I invite you to have a conversation with me. It's simply, it's very easy to set up. There's no obligation, but sleep is such an important part of overall health, wellness, and weight loss success. So that is just how important that is. And it's a tough nut for many to crack on their own. You wake up, you feel tired, you feel sluggish all day. And so allow me the opportunity to help you to gain some of that energy back, so that you feel good again, so that you're able to work out, so that you have that motivation to work out. Life is too short to feel sluggish and tired all of the time. So I thank you for tuning in, and share this on your page if you found this helpful. And I need to put it in this window too, so people can schedule. But definitely share this with your friends, because sleep is very important, and it sometimes it falls through the cracks. All right. And so this concludes what I have for today, for your weekly dose of your wellness news for your mind, your body, and your soul. So thank you for tuning in live. Thank you for participating. Next week, we are going to continue on the back to school, getting back on a routine, getting back on a structure. And we're going to talk about, well, how do you set the right kind of goals for you to help you to lose weight and to keep it off? So that's what we're going to talk about next week. So we all set goals, or sometimes our goals are too broad. So we want to make sure we're setting some goals that you can meet, that are achievable. And we're going to talk a lot about that next week, so that we can actually lose it, and we can lose it in a way that we can actually keep it off. Okay. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Same handle, same time, and definitely reach out to me for assistance. And let's talk. Again, no obligation. Let's talk about how we can get more sleep. All right. Have a great one. And I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye, and be blessed.